But finally, she stays because she's afraid. She's left him a couple times. Every time she goes back, the abuse is worse. He says to her, you could leave me, but I'll find you. She reads the same articles that we just talked about in the paper. She reads about the woman who was bludgeoned. She reads about the kids who were kidnapped by their abusive partner. So she's just afraid. She stays because if she leaves, where's she going to hide? Where's she going to run to? So she's staying because she's afraid. She's staying because he threatens to kill her. She's staying because she believes all those awful things that for years she's been told. No one will love her. She can't make it on her own. She's a loser. She's whatever. Blah, 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 blah. It goes on and on and on. So she stays. Mainly at the very last one, she has tried to stop the violence. She has gotten the police involved. She has left. She has gone back, and it's still there. Her life is still a mess. So she just feels like she has no hope whatsoever. What would you do? Could you leave? How fearful would you be if you were living with someone? We read about this all the time. This is in the paper all the time about a divorce situation where, the person took the kids, the person killed the in-laws, the person did whatever they had to do. Because it's about power and control. It's all about power and control. So I want to take a few minutes to talk about what you can do. So domestic violence, it's not hopeless. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to not get into a relationship, to be able to recognize it right from the start. Right from the start, I want you to look at your relationships critically. It's a whole lot easier to get out of a relationship at the beginning than it is, years down the road. So I want you to be willing to say, is this the person I want to spend the rest of my life with? I want you to be willing to look at it and say, am I comfortable with this person? Is this person making me feel controlled? Am I feeling isolated from my friends? Is this jealousy something that is inappropriate? Does this person listen to me when I say, I don't like that, that joke you told made me feel real uncomfortable? Does this person say I'm sorry, or does this person say you're stupid? So I want you to look right at the beginning, early on, about how you're treated in your relationships and how you treat other people in your relationship. Then I want you to know that if you know someone who's in a violent relationship, I don't want you to think you could be the hero. In your packet, there's some information on Turning Point. Turning Point is our domestic violence agency. If you know someone who is in a relationship, and if they come to you, I want you to refer, because you can't fix it. It's not one person's problem to fix. They have a whole team of people over there who could help them and who could help you in coping with it. I also want you to believe them. We hear stories, oh, she just made that up. He would never do that to her. Or he's making it up. She would never do that to him. It would be very hard. I'm not going to say it never happens, but it would be very demeaning and very hard to go to someone and say, yeah, this person I love beats the crap out of me on a regular basis. So if someone is coming to you and telling you that, I want you to believe them and I want you to listen. And I want you to give them the resources that you now know that we have in this county. We have a crisis line that's 24/7. There are people they could talk to because they're going to go back and forth. One of the things that happens is if someone comes to you, or or you recognize that someone's in a violent relationship and you talk to them, they might talk to you about it a little bit, but then they'll probably never talk to you about it again. Because this relationship is going to go back and forth for a little while. So you always want to bring in the experts to this. Now I want to talk to the gentleman in the room. And I guess what I want to say to you is I'm assuming that no one in this room is choosing to use abuse in their relationship. I am assuming you are all appropriate in your relationships. And it's really important that if you see something, or if you know someone, so you have a boyfriend, a friend of yours who says, I was so angry at her last night, I just left her there. I just threw her out of the car and left her on the side of the road. It's up to you to step up to the plate. It's up to you to say, I would never do that to someone I love. It's up to you to model what's appropriate behavior. Because honestly, if someone said that to me and I said, well, how could you treat someone you love that way? They wouldn't listen to me because if they had respect for women, they wouldn't have done that to begin with. So they wouldn't have respect for me. So it's important for men to take some ownership of this and to be willing to go out on a limb and to model appropriate behavior. Because I think most men are hugely appropriate in a relationship. So I want you to say it. Women, ladies, I want you to be willing to say that when your girlfriend comes to you and says, oh yeah, I can't go out tonight because my boyfriend gets really jealous when I go out without him and he's working. I want you to say, you know, how does that feel? I don't want you to judge them, but I want you to model what's appropriate behavior. You know, that's okay. It's okay to say, well, I would feel really, really threatened if my boyfriend acted that way. It's okay for you to do that. We have to start modeling appropriate behavior in relationships so other people who maybe didn't have the benefit of growing up in a healthy home and seeing a healthy relationship. It might be this little girl on the video. Maybe she doesn't even know what a healthy relationship looks like. So it's important for you to let people know that there's a better way. Okay, questions? Okay, that's it.